Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a good day. I'm having a great day, and I want to give God all the praise and all the glory. Without Him, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. So, today we're going to talk about Timcast IRL. There's a YouTube channel called The Quartering, and I do watch that from time to time. I do watch Tim Poole from time to time. My time is precious, so I don't have a lot of time, but I catch a few snippets of Tim Poole and The Quartering, and it was suggested that Tim Poole, it was posted on Twitter, is thinking about quitting. And there's been some controversy over one of the guests that he had on his program. So I'm thinking about addressing the idea of Tim Poole retiring, which is not going to happen, and the idea of a controversial guest that people are all up in arms about. Okay, number one, this is Tim Poole. It's his program, his platform, and he can do whatever he wants. I am not offended by any guest he has on there. And Tim, if you ever see this video by chance, Tim, you can have anybody you want on your platform. That's your platform, your show. Don't let anybody bully you, push you. Don't let any of the trolls tell you what to do. Don't. Not even me. I'm not a troll. So don't even let me push you around, tell you what to do. If you follow my advice if you want, you're free to do so. It's your show. You do whatever you want, Tim. Tim, I'm proud of what you've accomplished over the years. Again, you can do whatever you want. I don't care who's on your show. Doesn't bother me a bit. You can have AOC on your show, and it won't bother me. It's your show. Hey, if you want Tulsi Gabbard, great. AOC, great. Bring her on. I want to hear what she has to say. I have no problem with anybody you bring on. None. It's your show. Let me make this clear to everybody else out there. That's Tim Poole's program. And Tim, I hope you're brave enough to stand up to the trolls and say, you know what? This is my show. Is he going to lose viewers? Maybe. But Tim needs to have the freedom to do what he wishes. And that's how I feel. Like when if I do a podcast, if I bring somebody into my studio, it's my studio. This is my platform. One of my best friends is transgender. Is that going to offend somebody? I don't care. Jolynn is my best friend, has been for decades. That's not going to change. And I've had Jolynn on my podcast before. So I'm free to do as I wish. So I don't let anybody tell me who I can and can't have on my podcast or on my YouTube channel. This is me. And Tim Poole, if you're listening, same thing. Tim has every right to have whoever he wants. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's the devil himself. He can have Putin if he wants, the Chinese premier if he wants. I don't care who it is. He's free to have on whoever he desires. I heard something. Anyway, back to Tim Poole. Sorry, I got distracted. There's background noise. Could be my neighbors, and this microphone's picking that up. And that's got to be what I'm hearing. I hate to think there's ghosts. Ooh, maybe my house is haunted. Oh my God, my house could be haunted. Anyway, it's Tim Poole's show. Is Tim Poole going to retire? No. Does he have the right to pull back? I think he's overworked. And I think he has every right to pull back. Instead of doing a Timcast every night, maybe do one Timcast a week. A weekly show. You know, and I grew up. Dukes of Hazzard came on once a week. Now, Johnny Carson came on every night. It's only for like an hour. So maybe he needs to tone it down a little bit. Well, that means is instead of, he needs to do maybe once a week. Scale it back, Tim. I hope Tim. No, Tim is not going to retire, and even if he did, so what? He's made his money. He knows that fame is fleeting. He knows he's not going to be on the top of the totem pole for very long. Someone else is going to come along and take his spot. That's fame. That's the YouTube. That's social media. You can't be popular on YouTube for very long. His lifespan is about lived 5 years. He's lived his lifespan. He may have another 3 or 4 good years before it takes its toll on him. If he wants to pull back, if Tim Poole wants to pull back, yes, he should. Tim Poole needs to pull back. Instead of doing an every night, do it once a week. Every Sunday night, Monday night, pick one. And you make a special Timcast for that week. Fast, furious, to the point. As far as reading comments on the air, as far as engagement, put a limit like $100. You have to have $100 super chat for him to read it on the air. Because he gets so many, he can't read every super chat. My wife and I, before she passed away, we had that problem. We did a program, Area 51, Storming Area 51. Matter of fact, you can still find it on Facebook, on the fake book, Storming Area 51. There's my podcast. It got to the point, now I think my wife had passed away by that point. But I think I did that one by myself. But still, there is no way I can respond to every comment. I had that problem. I had hundreds of comments. There's no way. I had to stay focused on it. And that was my highest rated podcast I ever did. I don't know if I'll ever see those numbers again. All because I picked a topic that was hot. Every time my ratings went up on YouTube, it's like when I talked about the Karate Kid or some TV show, I did an evaluation, not a reaction, but a prediction. You know, I was predicting what's going to happen in season 2 of Cobra Kai. My reaction to season 1, without playing any scenes, I just did. So you're still seeing me. I don't take other people's content. That's not what I do. That's not what I'm about. So I won't be playing Tim Poole's content on my channel. Why? That's his content. Even if I had his permission, I still wouldn't do it unless there's a reason and he insists that, okay, I can play this segment because there's something to be said here. There has to be a reason to do it. Otherwise, I won't do it because I like putting out all my original content. I like it to be all me, all original. So I don't like using other people's content. I want to stay as real as I can. I want to limit it as much as I can. I don't want copyright violations for one, which I get all the time. When I do background music, I'm going, what? Why am I getting a copyright strike on this? And I bought this music from this website here to you. Or if it's just distantly in the background, you can barely hear it and I get a copyright strike. I had the radio on one time. I can't hardly film at the gym either because they have the music playing and they'll pick up that music and pick up that copyright. I get a copyright strike. That's AI. It's not a human being doing it. But back to Tim Poole. Tim Poole has every right to pull back. My advice to Tim Poole, pull back. Do one Timcast a week. Now, if he wants to retire and quit, don't. Tim, whatever Tim does, it's his right to do so. Maybe he's made his money and he wants to do something else with his life. Hey, I've made my money. My fame is going to be fleeting. Someone else is going to take my place eventually. I mean, he knows that's coming. Nobody stays popular on the top forever. You can't. So maybe he wants to quit while he's still on top. And that's the best way to do it. Do it while you're up here instead of down here. If he leaves when he's up here, that's great. But he'll do something else. Go back to skateboarding. He'll make videos about skateboarding. Go back to his first love. And do what he loves. And puts out the videos he wants to put out. At his convenience. It's not under all this pressure to constantly come up with content every day. He's under a time strain. He's under so much pressure from his audience. And Tim, if you're listening, if you want to pull away from that, you have my permission to do it. You don't need it. It's your program. If you're overwhelmed, step away. Take a break. Count to 10. Leave for a while. Do other kinds of content. Because I know he loves producing videos. He's not going to stop doing that. He's just not going to be under the pressure of doing that every night Timcast. If he has to lay people off, that's sad. But if he's got to pull back for a while, as long as he's got everything paid for, he's in the black, yeah, he can do whatever he wants. Then he can create content that he loves to create without pressure of having to have so many viewers. It's like Joe Rogan's already got so much FU money. He can do that. I don't know how much Tim has made. If he's made more than he can make at McDonald's, then he's probably made it. As long as he's in the black, got a couple of million set aside to live off the rest of his life. Hey, Tim, if you're at that point, you can do that. Great, more power to you. Make some skateboarding videos. Do what you want to do. Do what you love. Not where, because right now, Tim is probably under a lot of pressure from his audience, from advertisers, and he's feeling overwhelmed. That's why he snapped. He's human. He's bound to snap. I'm glad him and Jeremy at the quartering made up. You should. Someone has to be the bigger man and make amends. You know, if I don't have any beef with Tim, but if and when it ever came up, I would make amends. I'd be the bigger man. Say, okay, I'll be the first one to put out an apology. It's not a big deal. And move on with your life. But Tim Poole, if he wants to retire, which he's not going to, but my advice is just pull back. Do one Timcast IRL a week. Make some skateboarding videos. Go back to your first love. That's where he got started, with skateboarding. I know that's what he loves. Do some skateboarding. Have a skateboarding channel. And focus on that. Focus on his first love. And that might be very, very good for him to do. And do the videos he wants to do at his convenience. Without the pressure of, I need to put out this content and I need to have... No pressure. There's no pressure on me. I don't care. I'd like to have viewers, sure. I'd like to have a bigger channel, sure. I'm just not under any pressure to do it. If I can be at that point at 55, I'm turning 56 in April. If I can be at the point where I just don't care, Tim, if I've reached that point, you can reach that point. I'm a little guy. If a little guy like me, a little peon like me, can reach the point where, hey, I don't give a shit, you know, sure, I'd like to have 1 million subs, but even if I don't, even if I never go past 10,000 subs, big deal, so what? I'm putting out the content that I want to put out, and I want to say what I want to say. I don't care if cancel culture comes out to me. Think I care? I don't. Because I've lived my life. I'm 55. I've lived my life. And Tim's lived more so than me. And I trust he's smart enough to have some FU money. And he can do what he wants. He's got everything paid off. You know, his house is paid off. His equipment, all his hardware, his firmware, software programs, all that's paid off. If he's in the black, he's doing good. He's got a couple million in the bank. He can live modestly, not extravagantly, modestly, for the rest of his natural life, and have all that pressure taken off of him, because it's going to age him. He's going to have a heart attack. I'm worried about him. You know, somebody else will step up to the plate. Ben Shapiro, same thing. The problem is they built these mega enterprises. I don't know if there's a way for Ben to step back, or if there's a way for Tim to step back. If Tim has a way to step back, he should. Because somebody else will pick up the mantle and get that message out there. He's got plenty of people to do that. He may have a stake in their podcast, own shares of it. They'll have to create a new channel. Someone else will have to take the mantle. He just can't call it Timcast IRL. It'll be some other name, some other brand. He'll have to create a major brand if he wants to still call it Timcast. But the problem is they're going to expect him to see Tim Poole. So he needs to create a brand without his name on it. Because as long as it's got his name, like my brand is my name. But if I should ever pass the mantle, I'd have to create some entity where I can have other personalities that I would still have a percentage of the shares. He's going to have to set that up somehow. He's got the ability to do that. And just rest and relax and let someone else take the mantle. Let someone else go out there every night and broadcast every night. You think it's easy for him, it is not. And Tim has every right to have whoever he wants on the show. Tim, if you're hearing this, no complaints from this boy. You can have whoever you want. It could be the devil himself. That's your show, your platform, your choice to make. If it is somebody, even if it's somebody I don't like AOC, I really don't like her. But if he wants to have AOC on this program, more power to him. It's his show. His right to do whatever he wants. I know he's so concerned about losing viewers. No, so what? So you lose a few viewers, you have a few trolls, let them troll. There's no such thing as bad publicity. At the end of the day, it's his decision to make. If he's decided he's made enough, he can afford to pull back. Pull back. Tim, I advise him to. I really do. He needs to take a break. He's overworked. I mean, the only reason I've been putting out content lately is because I've got lots of free time right now. I'm in the process of moving, so yeah. But I'm at a stage in my life, I'm not working 80 hours a week at 2 part-time jobs. I'm past that. I don't have kids to support. I'm a widow. And, yeah. And, like I said, Tim Poole's show. Tim Poole can do whatever he wants. Take a break. Do 1 Timcast a week. Do 2-3 shorts a week. Scale back. Go back to your first love. Make some skateboarding videos. Isn't that how you got started? I believe that's how Tim Poole got started. Before he was into journalism, he was a skateboarder. I heard him mention it. Go back to skateboarding. Go back to your first love. I think Tim will find himself a lot happier. He'll have a whole new YouTube channel all about skateboarding. And it'll be a lot more fun for him. Without all the pressures of he can put out any content he wants at his convenience. He'll still make money. I bet he'll still make money. He'll get corporate sponsors and everything. You think he's not going to make money with a skateboarding channel? He will. And doing something he really, really, really loves. His first love. It's like Captain Kirk returning to the Enterprise. His first love, the Starship Enterprise. Think about it. Got to go back to your first love. You can't forget that. That's my take on Tim Poole. Is he going to retire? No. And even if he did, it's his decision to make. And I support whatever decision he has to make. Is he going to quit making content? No. Tim Poole, don't stop making content. Just create different content. Like I said, skateboarding. Take up skateboarding again. Make a skateboarding channel and put out YouTube videos all about skateboarding. And he'll make just as much money because his name is Tim Poole. Don't think he can't, because he can. He can do something he loves without the pressure being put on him. How can you be canceled for putting out skateboarding videos? You can't. That's in the area he don't worry about cancel culture. He can make just as much money because his name is Tim Poole. He's a brand. Like Michael Francis, he's a brand. Anyway, that's my take on Tim Poole. please like, comment, and share. Comment below. What is your take on Tim Poole retiring? Because he's not going to. He may step back, but he's always going to create content. I'm going to hashtag TimCast, and maybe somebody in his staff will see this video. Hey, Tim, take a step back. Go back to your first love. Make a skateboarding channel and just do what you love. Skateboarding. And that's my take on Tim Poole. We're up to 20 minutes already. I'm going to go ahead and end this video. Like, comment, and share below. Thanks, folks.